What is up, fellow Reborn Knights? Welcome to episode number 9 of the Knights of the Round Table. I am your host, Judd, and I am joined by owner and co-host of, well, he's a co-host today anyways, because people just wasn't here, the man, Jonesy. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on here.
Awesome. Well, we got a few topics today. It's not going to be, this is a different podcast today. It really is. We're not doing gameplay, we're doing webcam. And I like the format, but it's just a little bit different. We don't have as many people today, so I hope you guys do enjoy. You guys actually let us know. Comment below. Let us know if you guys like this better or you like the gameplay. More people, less people, what have you. So, but anyway, let's get into today's topic. PlayStation will be coming out with the ps4 Pro very soon. You've done a little bit of reading up on it, Jonesy.
I have.
What do you think of it?
Um, I mean, I kind of like it. It's pretty much just the PlayStation, but upgrading it to the next better graphics because they're always trying to keep up with technology. So they're always trying to improve, and it's not replacing the PlayStation. It's just going to be like the upgraded version of the PlayStation 4. That way, it's more compatible with the virtual reality systems they're introducing, and pretty much just kind of helping everything just improve for
Well,
graphics wise.
yeah. I mean, I was looking at it, and it's going to offer 4K for some games. It's going to offer virtual reality. But the biggest downfall I see with it is on Blu-rays. It doesn't support 4K Blu-rays. It supports 1080 and it upscales it to 4K, which I mean, you're familiar with video editing and stuff like that. You never want to. It's okay to downscale, like 1080 to 720 looks fine. 4K to 1080 looks fine. But I mean, to upscale, like that's something different, and I don't know how I feel about that, man. I mean,
Yeah,
what?
I'm not. Yeah, sorry. It's okay to downgrade, like down, but when you try to upscale it, it ruins the quality. Like if it's not prepared to handle that, then it doesn't handle it very
Because
well.
I mean, you think about it. I mean, you can take a four. What's the aspect? I think it's what, like 420 or something like that. There's an aspect ratio. I think it's 420p, and I mean you can upscale it to 720. I mean you end up stretching it and making it actually 16 by 9 instead of being 4 by 3. But I mean, just looking at that, I mean, from I've seen people do that before, and it just looks terrible. It's like I don't know, like my cable company, right? I have HD channels, I have SD channels, and an SD video, like you watch an SD channel, it looks better on like a box TV than it does on my flat screen because of the upscale and everything. And I just don't think I just don't think it's a good idea. I mean, I hate that they're not actually going to support 4K video. I mean, granted, it is what it is, right? But there is going to be games that support 4K. But here's my question to you, Jonesy. I mean, do you have a 4K monitor?
I do not. I do
Do you
not.
plan on getting a 4K monitor anytime soon?
Not in the near future. No.
I mean, me neither. I mean, 1080. I have a 1080p monitor, and I mean, I play on a monitor. I mean, not everybody's like us. Some people do play on TVs. I completely understand that. And I have a 4K TV myself, but I don't know, man. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
1080p is like crisp. I mean, honestly, a lot of people may hate me in the comments. A lot of people may call me a liar, whatever. I have played I have played 4K on my monitor. I mean on my TV, and you cannot tell the difference. And I do have a 4K monitor for my computer. I do own a 4K monitor for my computer. It does support the resolution, and I've ran 4K on my computer. You cannot tell the difference. I don't think you can really tell the difference between 1080 and 4K until you get on up in, like, I'm talking about like 80-inch TVs. To be honest, some people disagree with me, but I'm telling you, you cannot tell the difference. It's like on your cell phone, right? Can you really tell the difference between 720 and 1080 on your cell phone?
No. I mean, I don't know. It kind of varies on the phone, honestly. It depends. It varies on the phone company because a lot of phones have. Sorry, my dog. That was crazy. But it depends on the phone. I mean, yeah, the phone has to be able to support that.
I mean, because like when you look at it, it's pixels, right? That's what these numbers mean, pixels. And I mean, until the screen is so big, the pixels are not going to be. The bigger the screen, the bigger the pixels, which means more pixels, which means it's more bulky and bigger screens. But when it finds down, it's so small you can't even tell the difference between pixels. You really can't. And that's the reason why I think actually upscaling 1080 to 4K. That's the reason why like upscaling's bad because it ends up stretching out pixels instead of compressing pixels. So I don't know. A lot of people probably doesn't understand any of my talk here.
Right.
But graphic designers and video editors, they'll completely understand where I'm coming from, what I'm talking about. It's just like anything. When you zoom in on something, it becomes blurry and more distorted. And I mean, I wish Sony would actually support 4K. And who knows? Maybe they'll have it on an update or something.
Right. I mean, yeah. I did read an article. I guess Sony PlayStation partnered with Netflix, so they will be providing 4K video on Netflix. But still, I mean, that doesn't. A lot of people, maybe I don't know, not a lot of people, but some people don't watch Netflix. They just watch the Blu-rays and stuff like that. So they should make it universal. But mainly, I think the PS4 Pro is more. Yeah, it supports the 4K, but also the power consumption is better. And then the internal storage, the default will be a terabyte. So I mean, they upgraded it more than just obviously this GPU is what they upgraded mainly to support the 4K.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, they did kind of upgrade of the other stuff. But honestly, I'm not a big fan. Like it's $100 just to pretty much upgrade to get pretty much the same thing, but something that you probably won't utilize unless you have the equipment to utilize it.
I mean,
So, I mean, yeah.
their biggest thing it seems like is Neo. I mean, not Neo, VR. So I got hiccup, guys. You guys, please forgive me. Virtual reality, and I mean, the VR capability is cool. I'll give it that. It's cutting edge technology. Um, but I don't see myself utilizing that. I mean, I think I'll be different than anybody else, but virtual reality. I mean, it's just I don't know. Like there's other ways. It's just not what I do. If I want to get up and move, I'm just gonna go outside. If I want to virtually reality play baseball, I'm just gonna go play baseball. I mean, it comes different when it comes to like shooting and shooter games and stuff like that. But I just don't see myself utilizing VR. I mean, obviously there's gonna be people who do utilize it, but I mean, do you think it'd be something that you would utilize, or what do you think?
Like you were saying, like VR is more focused. Not if you're playing basketball or something like that, you can go outside and actually do that. But for shooting games, I don't know. When I think of VR, I think of it more. It should be utilized as an educational tool, for like training simulators, stuff like that, to teach people how to fly airplanes. Use the like if you're in the cockpit flying and learning all the controls and stuff in a virtual environment instead of in real life until you're trained to do so.
But here's
Um,
the thing, like, well, you just went with a topic that I actually know a lot about when it comes to, virtual reality simulation when it comes to airplanes and stuff. Well, actually, Arcade may not actually know this as much as my channel, but I spent 5 years in the United States Navy where I worked on aircraft. I had a lot to do with pilots, and I was actually qualified to taxi around aircraft. Um, I actually have a pilot's license for to fly helicopters, H-53s. Um, but that technology already exists. It's already there. Like they have these simulators that look exactly like the cockpit of an aircraft. They do the exact same thing. They actually have like different scenarios that I mean honestly I worked on F-18 Hornets when I was in the Navy. Okay, and there was a qualification, you guys, called aircraft turn up license. And basically, what it was is you would turn up an aircraft. You had this big chain. I mean, this thing was this big around. It was, about it weighed roughly about 100 pounds, but it was only about 10 feet long. So you can imagine how thick this chain was and how heavy it was. And you attached it to the aircraft and you put the aircraft in afterburner mode and everything. But anyways, to get this license, you had to go through a simulator. And they could actually, they can simulate landing on a carrier with these things. So I mean, stuff that actually you need that virtual reality training for, it's already there. It's been there for a while. It's because it doesn't get more virtual than actually having the cockpit, having the buttons. I mean, this is an actual cockpit you sit in. You know, so stuff like that for training purposes. I believe that if I believe the technology's already been here for quite a while for anything that you'd actually need the training purposes for. And then at that point, are you really going to use a PlayStation to utilize this? Or these people, is Boeing, because Boeing's the lead designer and everything for aircraft, or at least military sense it is. I'm not really familiar with commercial, but Boeing's the leading designer. Are they really going to design something like that for a PlayStation?
I mean, they wouldn't probably specifically design it for their employees to use, but they might make it public friendly to maybe interest future, pilots and stuff through video games, to kind of simulate, hey, I kind of like this video game. Maybe I should pursue a career in this. That's about as far as I could take it with the virtual reality portion, because it's like you said, for the companies, they already have that. They've had that for a while now. But for the gaming community, maybe that's they could utilize it to maybe hopefully bring in more employees and stuff to interest in that field.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, I completely understand what you're saying. Educational like, it's just like bringing up educational purpose. I disagree with that. Now, flying airplanes, virtual reality, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, because it doesn't have to be the exact same, because like I don't like, okay, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, you can fool people with video games. Like, it's funny. You ever seen Independence Day? Will Ferrell, or not Will
Yeah,
Ferrell, Will Smith.
yeah.
That button he presses to launch them missiles on his F-18, that's actually to throw up a speed brake that slows down an aircraft. I mean, but nobody knows that.
Right.
So it's kind of crazy. I mean, you can fool consumers. That's not a thing, because then at that point Boeing doesn't have to release the game. It can be, Tom Clancy, because Tom Clancy had some very good flying games, and it'd be pretty cool to have them. Actually, that'd be really good if they came out with new ones that was virtual reality. It was called man, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was awesome. It was like or Ace Combat coming out with virtual reality. That'd be kind of cool, but it's just not something I would utilize, because I mean, I don't know. It's just not something I'd be interested in, and I'm definitely not gonna pay $100 for it. Definitely, like, a few more, $100. I could spend another $100 and go a $200 upgrade and upgrade my PC and be able to play more virtual reality games. I mean, my computer's already virtual reality capable, VR capable, but coming from a consumer standpoint, I mean, if I'm hardcore enough to actually want VR, I'm gonna be playing it on PC.
Right.
It's
I mean,
already there.
Exactly what I was about to say. It's already there.
So, you know, what was the other? There was more perks on this. It had upgraded internal storage.
Yeah.
Now when it comes to that point, I mean, I have another story to this. I have a 1 terabyte hard drive I have hooked up to my PS4. I mean, I have 1.5 terabytes, and $100 to upgrade to a 1 terabyte. I mean, I bought my I don't know how much hard drives are, to be honest. I think I probably paid like 40 for mine for one
Yeah,
terabyte of storage.
that's about what I paid for mine, too.
So, I mean, these arguments, I just don't see paying $100 for this thing, 100 extra bucks,
Right.
And I think it's gonna actually hurt Sony. I mean, I don't know. Sony's done amazing on this console. Outsold the PlayStation. I mean, outsold the Xbox by a lot. Like, definitely. I don't know exactly how they. I mean, I have both consoles. You're getting a PS4. You've played PS4.
Yes.
Um, the PS4 has, okay, from a technology standpoint. It has better hardware. It does have better hardware. It has a better graphics card. Um, statistically, it drops less frames. Um, I mean, both support 60 frames per second. They're both 60 frames per second. It's just whether the game utilizes it or not. Because, for example, Xbox does do 60 frames per second on COD, but if you play Arc, you're only going to get 30. And so on. It depends on the game, whether the game supports it or whatever. But, you know, the PlayStation has really outsold the Xbox. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers anymore, but it was just absolutely crazy. It could have to do with Call of Duty swapping over, because that's probably one of the biggest console games. That could have a lot to do with it, or PlayStation is just a superior console. And I'm not trying to start a console war. I do have both consoles. I mean, I do play on both, and I love my Xbox. I'm never gonna get rid of it, and I love my PlayStation. You know, I'm not really biased on consoles, but I mean, do you have anything else to say about it?
I do not. It's see, it's like it's one of those topics you can talk about it, but it's there's not much to talk about. Like it's yeah, they upgraded the default internal storage, the GPU, made it so it's more compatible and it's compatible with 4K. The power consumption, but other than
Well,
that, it's like it was kind of a disappointment to me.
well, I
So
actually have one more thing. I didn't. I just now thought about this. What games are going to support this? Right now, I know Black Ops 3 is going to support, the updated graphics. I know that Infinite Warfare is gonna support it. But I mean, what all games? Because they don't. The only games I've heard of that's actually gonna utilize these updates and graphics is literally just the Call of Duty games. So
yeah,
what
I
all
mean,
games are gonna utilize?
yeah, I did read something about Spider-Man will be, but obviously that's kind of a game. It doesn't really need to be 4K. It's pretty nice in 1080. But obviously people wants more, and then eventually the VR bundles and stuff. But there's not too big of a list now. Uncharted, I believe, will be. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it's kind of a disappointment to me. It's not something I was thinking about buying it for a while, but after reading into it more, I was like, I might as well just get the normal PS4. I mean, like you said, if I want to be VR, then I'd upgrade my PC to be compatible with VR.
Yeah, I mean that's the way I look at it. I mean, it'd be awesome if every game supported it. Maybe that could change my mind a little bit, but I mean, as of right now, there's just not enough information to sell me on this. There's not. It's not really lack of information. It's lack of games. I don't know what games will support this because I've looked at. Obviously, I do research for these podcasts, um, and I've read into this, and literally the only games I've heard of is Call of Duty. I did hear Uncharted, Spider Man. I probably read that too, but I probably just like whatever. It's not really that popular of a game, so it didn't really catch my eyes. I guess. I mean, Uncharted, isn't like the most popular game, but it's pretty popular. People play it. There's avid fans for it. Um, but I mean, there's just not enough information to sell me on it. Maybe with more information, maybe they could change my mind if more games supported it. But as of right now, no, I'm not gonna pay the extra $100 for a PS4 Pro, and I'm always top of the line technology when it comes to that aspect. Because I mean, I'm that nerd that sits day zero in front of GameStop trying to get my Xbox One, trying to get my PlayStation.
Right.
I always have the newest phone, upgrade it yearly, and it's just this is one upgrade I'm just gonna have to skip. I don't think it's worth it. Um, but with that being said, let's move on to the next topic. We have got COD XP. It went on about 2 weekends ago. That's about two
Uh,
weekends ago.
yeah.
Um, COD champs, but that's not really what I want to talk about. You had a few people attend this. You had T Martin, you had Drifter, and you had Kozstov TK. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know who these are. Drifter, he's the owner of Envious. T Martin is probably the most leading YouTube Call of Duty news YouTuber, I guess would be a good way to put it. He's always like up to date on like, what have you, whether it's the newest patch, the newest DLC coming, the newest game, whatever. I honestly think he's the biggest Call of Duty news channel on YouTube. I think so. And you have Kotrt TK, which is the owner of Team Caliber, another pro organization in Call of Duty. While they was at this event, there was stuff that went down. Drifter's house got broken into. Um, T. Martin's house got broken into, and Kozdov's car windshield, or is his back glass, it got broken, and he has like I think he has like a Ford. What is them cars called? I think it's like an Escalade. It may actually be a Chevy, but it's a big nice SUV with a system and all kinds of stuff, and it's a nice vehicle. But I don't know. What do you think, Jonesy? Do you think this was like fans? Do you think it was just coincidence? Do you think it was like people got their addresses, people, what have you? What do you think happened, man?
Well, I mean, as you're aware, I have a experience in the criminal justice field. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that definitely it's probably somebody that was updated with their stats. Like if you're on Twitter, you know that they're all at COD XP. So if you've been doing your research for a while now, figuring out their exact address, which some of them it's not too difficult. You could probably even just Google it, because all the fans would know eventually, because I'm sure somebody did the research. Everything's online. But I definitely think that it was somebody that was very capable and very, very like a professional at doing so. Because Drifter, like his stuff, was like completely sabotaged. I'm not gonna get into all that right now, but I definitely think it was somebody that was knowing what was going on.
T. Martin actually went and bought a Glock. He went and bought a Glock to actually home protection. He actually posted a picture on Twitter. Do you think that's really necessary? Or
I do. I mean, I believe in protection. You should always have protection. I have protection at my house. Not saying exactly what, but I don't. I mean, he's making the public know that he has the protection, but he has a very high-end security system at his house. That's like next-gen security system, is what Drifter was saying. Obviously, I'm not aware of what security system he has at his house, but I'm sure he has the system and the money to provide for that. But it's always nice to have personal protection. I'm a big fan of people having the rights for arms, so I do think it's not necessary, but it's an extra precaution to have, I guess. If he feels his life was endangered, he should take that step.
yeah, I mean, this seems to actually be like a growing problem. When it comes to this, I don't know whether it was fans that did this. Now Kozlov's situation, I think that was an accident. I watched Sharp. Sharp was actually at the TK G Fuel house when this happened. And he just walked outside. Like, he was, like, actually the people who do their lawn, like, cut their grass and stuff, came in and said, hey, did you know this car's windshield's busted? And, like, apparently he had moved Kozlov's SUV, and it was closer to the road. So, I mean, it may have been a rock that got slung up. It could just be, like, some high school kids that don't even know who these people are. They're just out vandalizing. Because, I mean, that happens in high school. People do it. So I think Kostos I don't think his really had anything to do with his status on YouTube or anything like that. Now, Drifter, I think his information got leaked. His and T. Martin. I really think so, because the thing about Kostos is he has this sound system in his vehicle, right? And it wasn't stolen. It was still there. Everything in his vehicle was perfectly fine except for the back glass. That was literally it. There wasn't a brick inside. There wasn't anything like that. I mean, there wasn't no evidence of a rock or, what have you, because it was pretty close to the road. I mean, this isn't a highway. No one should be going, like, really fast to sling rocks up at that velocity to actually shatter his glass like it is. Because, I mean, I could see a crack or something, but, I'd have to say, I mean, I'm no scientist here, but, 60, 70 miles per hour down this road is what I would think it would take to send a rock through his window if it was a car driving by that slung up a rock. And I mean, this is a suburb. It's probably like the speed limit there is probably like 30, 35, 45 tops. So, and that also high school kids may be speeding down there. So, I mean, never know what happened there. But when you look at T Martin and Drifter, I mean, Drifter, from what I've heard, he got absolutely like sabotaged, like you said. Like he
Yeah.
actually tweeted, "Hey, I'm not gonna be able to upload videos for a couple days, and what have you." And I know he has a really state of the line setup,
Oh yeah, he
Um,
does.
and who knows? Maybe this was like a maybe it wasn't a coincidence because the thing about Kostov's and T Martin's and Drifter is Kosdov. There was actually someone there, and that they may not have known was going to be there. Because I mean, Sharp TK, ex Call of Duty pro, played for TK for since TK was created. Um, Actually, there's been two events he didn't play at ever for TK, and it was the last two. Maybe they didn't expect him there. Maybe that's why Kostov's stuff didn't get stolen. Maybe they seen a light on, or what have you. But
Right.
I mean, that's a good possibility. But I mean, this, like I said though, this is a growing problem. You got fans visiting the Face House all the time, invading privacy. You got people going to T Martin's house, um, just invading privacy. I mean, what do you say to that? Just people. Let's just say you have 1 million subscribers on YouTube. You just have people come to your door, just asking for autographs
I
constantly.
I'd be upset with it. Obviously you expect to feel safe at your home. It's it's cool to have people come and respect you. You know, if you're at an event, awesome. That's awesome. But when you're at home, you're working. Like that's their job is YouTube. So when people's coming, that's not only evading their privacy, but interrupting their time to get their job done. So it's I don't know. I feel like if I've always I love the Phase house, love love Phase honestly. Obviously, some of the stuff that's been going on. Besides the point, I would I would love to visit them, but not just show up randomly and like try to interrupt. People be pounding on the door for hours until somebody comes,
Well,
and
I
no,
mean,
that's just crazy.
to be honest, like if I don't know you, I mean, I don't want you. I don't want you on my front door. So I mean, I completely understand what they're saying, and they get this all the time. I mean, honestly, I don't like people like salespeople that come knocking on my door, what have you. I mean, I don't like it. I don't know these people. I don't know who you are, and most time I just ignore it. Just let people knock at my door, to be honest. But I mean, I don't completely understand where they're coming from. Um, but I think that's really gonna do it for that topic. Do you have anything to say about it?
I do not.
All right, we have got hashtag YouTube is dead, or YouTube party's dead, YouTube dead party, all kinds of different ways of rearranging them words. Basically, what's happened is there has been a change in the YouTube terms of service. Um, Actually have it brought up. I'm just gonna read it off for you real quick, Jonesy. Okay, this content is not considered advertiser friendly. Okay, basically you have two different kinds of videos on YouTube, guys. You have monetized, you have non-monetized. If it's non-monetized, you do not have ads on it and you do not make money off of it. Then you have monetized videos, which you'll see ads on it and you do make money off of it. This is how bigger YouTubers make a living and stuff like that. But you are not allowed to monetize if you have sexually suggested content, including partial nudity and sexual humor. I say we just break this down one by one, Jonesy. What do you say?
I completely agree.
Alright, sexually suggestive content, partial nudity, and sexual humor. Agree or disagree?
I agree to a certain extent. Like, obviously, if let's say I'm doing a vlog for YouTube, me and a couple of my friends, we go swimming. I'm a guy. I don't wear a shirt when I go swimming. So is that not going to be able to be monetized? I'm swimming, so obviously people sees that all the time, but they don't have specifics. Like
Okay,
it just
but
says including partial nudity.
I'm going to take what you say and dissect it. Now let's look at this from a different point of view. What if I'm a chick and I'm going swimming?
Bikini.
Yep. So, I mean, is that sexually suggestive?
Exactly. That's you don't know where their guidelines actually fall into.
Well, it's not really that. I just look at a way of abusing. Like, I agree with you, but I disagree. Like, okay, let's say this chick, obviously, if it's okay for me to go swimming in a bikini, I'm probably gonna go. I'm probably gonna go swimming all the time in my vlogs. You know, it's gonna help me get views. It's gonna make me more money. And I mean, this is just a mindset YouTubers look at, because a lot of bigger YouTubers treat it like a business. I mean, I myself, I treat it as a hobby. I don't make money off YouTube. So I mean, I look at it at a different point, but I put myself in their shoes. They look at it as a business. What do you have to do to grow? What do you have to do to make more money and get more views? And sexually suggestive. I mean, looking at the swimming point that you say, I mean, honestly, if I'm a chick, I'm just gonna go swimming all the time if that's okay. I mean, do you not think that's what would go through their heads?
I mean, yeah, probably some people, but not all.
But I mean, I understand not all. I completely understand that. But I'm just saying, like, abuse. Like, people's gonna abuse it, and at that point, it becomes to the point where you can't go swimming either, just because of people abusing the system. Um, Here's my opinion though. Does this include thumbnails? You know, like that's my biggest question. How many people do thumbnails that's just, you know, they put a half naked girl on it just to get views. I mean, it's not even like half the time it doesn't even have anything to do with the video.
Yeah, it's just clickbait.
Yep. Or the
Right.
FIFA strip challenge. That was a thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I've watched that. Yeah.
I mean, I think honestly, I don't think that should be a thing. I mean, I really don't.
Right. I mean, just yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously that stuff you should not be able to monetize. But like I said, you know, it doesn't not just partial nudity, but sexual humor. Like a lot of people just trolling videos on Xbox or PS4, and so it's like it's hard because let's say you're a guy or a girl. A girl would be a better example, and you go into an Xbox lobby and you're flirting with guys. Obviously, you're gonna get some crazy reactions, probably eventually, but that's sex. It could be sexual humor if you're flirting with them, you know, kind of joking around with them.
Completely agree. Kind of
So
like what YouTubeable does with his girl voice trolling.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly. But you can't monetize that anymore, apparently. So that kind of just ruins that whole thing that he's been doing.
Well, here's my question. I was watching who was? I think it was actually PewDiePie. I think I was watching PewDiePie. He was talking about this. Now is there not people that, you know, what they're looking at is they're trying to make it friendly for advertisers. I completely understand it. You know, if you're advertising with a toy, you know, Legos. Let's just use Legos. You do not want to be advertising because your market is kids. You know, 12-year-olds and under is what I'd probably say is your main. That's the people. That's your target audience. Now, what if you're Budweiser?
Right.
I mean, is your target audience should be 21 and older? Am I right?
Right. It should.
When it comes to, you know, sexual humor, can we not monetize it with that? With Budweiser ads? Or, you know, cigarette ads? Or, you know, what have you? I mean, is that not a thing?
Right. I mean, it completely is. My personal opinion is I think YouTube should have an option. Like, I know this probably won't ever happen because not many people would utilize it probably. But if I mark on my YouTube channel my contents for 18 and older, I should be able to put
That actually is a thing.
some of this. Yeah, I know it's a thing, but I'm saying they should have like two separate advertisement categories: a kid-friendly version, and then like a more adult age version. Obviously, you should not have nudity. I don't think at all, and be able to monetize it. But more like YouTubeable level, the jokingly, the sexual humor, more of the basic stuff should be more allowed for like 18 and older. I think that would be good, and you can still monetize it because it's in the adult section. I don't know if they did that. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good idea. But, I mean, looking at it from a business standpoint, how do you adjust CPMs?
Yeah, right.
I mean that I think that's where you run into the brick wall. There is CPM. For people who don't know what CPMs is, that's basically like simple term. That's how much money you make per view. It's actually per 1,000 view, I think, but you'll get like $3 per 1,000 view or $6 per 1,000 view, or you know what have you. So, I mean, like I said, how do you adjust your CPM? Because obviously, some advertisers are going to pay more than others. And also, how does YouTube Red work with this?
Right. I don't know how that actually factors in.
Well, the way YouTube Red works, if somebody with YouTube Red watches your monetized video, you get a little bit of cut. Anyways, even though they don't see your ad. So, because YouTube Red's ad free.
Right.
Um, but how does that work when it comes to different age restricted video? That's the
Right.
question you have to ask there, because like it's Google. I mean, they're a business. This is what they have to look at. But let's go on to the next one. You have got violence, including display of serious injury or events related to violent extremism. Now, this is where I look at this. Violence. How do you classify this? If I kill someone in Call of Duty, is that violence? Does
See,
this
I
mean
know.
I
It's
can't
just
do Call of Duty videos no more? I mean, because you take away Call of Duty, I mean, there goes your YouTube base.
right.
Am I right?
Oh yeah, you're like completely on the right track with that. It's like a lot of video games are based in violence. It's Minecraft. Technically, that's you still can slay one another. So obviously it's not extremism. You're not seeing displaying of but still like Call of Duty is very graphic. Story mode is very graphic. Other games are very graphic. Even Batman is graphic. So it's something like they don't. It's so broad of how they explain it. They don't have any specific guidelines for each thing, like each category that you cannot monetize or can monetize on.
Because honestly, they should really be more, you know, transparent with what they're doing. Because I mean, I read it. First thing I think of is I don't think of Call of Duty. I think of vlogging, like going to stab somebody. But when you look at it, you're like, can I fake this? Can I do a fake video? Like a skit where I stab somebody in a skit? Because I mean, either I can or I can't. Because I mean, I can argue with you. Well, it's fake, same as Call of Duty. It's not really happening. I'm not really stabbing anybody, but I'm not really stabbing anybody in Call of Duty either. It's made up.
Right.
So I mean, where is it? Now I do understand the events leading to violent extremism. I understand that part completely. I don't want to talk about ISIS or whatever. I mean, not really talk about it. It's just I don't want. I don't think you should be uploading videos of you doing terrorist stuff or stuff like that. So I
Right.
completely understand that part. That is. But then again, what if I'm playing Modern Warfare 2? You remember the controversial mission on there where you go and shoot up the airport? Like you
Yeah.
literally shoot civilians. Am I able to put that up?
Right. That they don't. Yeah. I mean, it's hard, especially with the video game industry.
And
It's hard to know what you can do.
I'm just looking at it because Call of Duty's what I know. That's what I do. And I think most of our viewers are familiar with Call of Duty. I think it's the best analogy. But I mean, you can look at other games, Overwatch. You can look at Minecraft, like you said. I mean, you can look at Ark
Right.
Survival. You can look at CS:GO. I mean, it just comes down to all kinds of stuff. I mean, where's the line? Where's the line that cannot be crossed? Next one, inappropriate language, including harassment, profanity, and vulgar language. Now, you guys are familiar with my stream. You guys are familiar with my YouTube. I do not cuss in my YouTube videos. I do not cuss on these podcasts. I don't cuss in my streams. Um, and I can completely get away with that. Now, this is something that I see where YouTube's coming from, but I don't understand it because I mean, is it easy to avoid? Yes, it is extremely easy to avoid. You can avoid this, but I mean, I think this is where the advertisement friendly comes with the sexual suggestive stuff that we was talking about. Basically, I think it's the same category, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it pretty much is. I'm a big fan of Call of Duty. I I don't normally cuss when I play other games, but when I play Call of Duty, there's something inside of me that just heats up. And no offense, I mean I try not to cuss, but when I play Call of Duty and I'm not doing so hot, I cuss. And so I couldn't monetize my videos because I cuss in Call of Duty. I don't say anything too offensive. I don't think. I try to stay, somewhat user appropriate whenever I do cuss. But there, there's totally different like levels of cuss words in my book. Obviously, you know what people hears in the household and what's more, you know,
Yeah, I
street
completely
level
understand.
stuff like that.
I mean, you
So
watch my stream.
yeah,
You have people. You have people. I don't cuss, but I got people who do cuss that streams with me and hear it in the stream. But my biggest pet peeve is people who drop the f bomb, and I mean, the f bomb is one of them words where I just think, it's that's crossing the line when it comes to vulgar language to me. You know.
right.
So I completely understand your point there. You have different levels of cuss words. You got different, what have you, and you got cussing and you got cursing. Where like
Right.
if I'm directing something directly at you, then I think that's inappropriate. But if I'm talking about a situation or a situational, you know what I'm saying? Like I can like let's just I can say like screw you, Jonesy, or I can say man screw that. That's two different ways of saying things. So
Right. By you saying that, we can't monetize this video probably. You know what I mean? So it's like
I mean, yeah,
it's crazy the level of what can be appropriate and what can't be appropriate. Because no offense, I don't really take that offensively. Maybe somebody that is watching this does, but they don't have a level of what can be appropriate and what can't be appropriate. Obviously, what you said, the f bomb, that's extreme. You know, obviously there's even worse out there. I'm not gonna say anything, but it's hard to tell.
okay. Next one, promotion of drugs, regulated substance, including selling, use, and abuse of such item. Okay, looking at this, I don't think. I mean, thin line again. Thin line again. What if I'm playing GTA?
Exactly. GTA's a lot focus around that.
And there's
You can
really missions where you go and you go pick up the heroin.
exactly.
I mean, that's
I
literally. I
mean,
mean, there's a character
yeah,
that's a drug trafficker. What's his name? Trevor, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
So I understand. Like, you don't need to be vlogging yourself going to sell weed to, this 12-year-old kid in some shady alley. I completely understand that. Don't do that. That's
Right.
bad. I mean, I don't know why you'd vlog that anyways. Isn't that gonna get you caught?
People does
But
though. You'd be like, it's crazy what's on YouTube.
so I mean, I don't really know. I mean, at that point, you're just an idiot anyways, and chances are you're not making money off your videos anyway because you don't seem very smart enough to. It seems like you're making more money off your drugs than you are the videos at that point. So, um, but I mean that's really the way I look at it. Now this is the one I really don't know what to say about it. Controversial or sensitive subjects, events, including subjects related to war, political conflicts, natural disasters, tragedies, or even if graphic imagery is not shown. Does this mean I can't have an opinion?
Right. That's what it comes across as to me. Like, I mean, it's just this is probably not the level of what they're saying. But if you're playing a video game, some video games gives you two options. You can choose your story mode. You can go with option A or option B.
Mass Effect, perfect example.
I mean, if I does that mean it can't be monetized because I chose this route or this route to go with the campaign? Like they don't. It's so broad. It's like less than 100 words total, and they do not go into detail of what's appropriate and what's acceptable.
I mean, what's controversial? What's sensitive? I mean, you make an exposed video about me. I'm not that sensitive. Go for it. Do what you do. Make the video. Make the exposed video of me. I got tough skin. I can handle it. But Jonesy over here, he's a little crybaby, and he's very sensitive when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, I cry
So
like
I
a baby,
mean,
man.
like what is sensitive? What's controversial? I mean, the last Call of Duty trailer was controversial. I mean, can I not talk about it?
Right. You
I mean,
can't monetize that.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand this. It's like you cannot have an opinion. Um, what if my whole thing is breaking down politics?
Right. If
Because
your
there's
channel
channels that do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like
there's channels that does that.
a lot of people look at YouTube as gaming and vlogs, but I mean, there's other stuff out there. I mean, war conflicts. Can I not talk about war? Can I talk? I like technically I cannot talk about why I disagree with wars. I mean,
Right.
I can't even promote Donald Trump if I want, or Hillary Clinton.
Right.
I can't
I
tell
mean,
you who
yeah.
I'm voting for.
It's
Um,
crazy.
Now I understand where they're coming from, but it just comes down to the point where, like, technically, if you go in legal terms, I mean, you can't make videos on YouTube.
Right. I mean, I have a serious thing though. So if I'm a YouTuber and I decide to do a live stream on a charity, will that obviously if you live stream, you won't be. I don't think you can monetize live streams. But if I made a video representing charities and trying to spread the whole
You can
thing,
monetize live streams.
yeah. Oh, you can?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. But if I did a live stream for charity, that's controversial, sensitive subject, autism, sensitive subject. My baby brother and sister both have autism, so that can't be monetized, even though I'm trying to do something good. I'm trying to bring attention to these causes and trying to raise money for them, but that's not acceptable in the YouTube standards.
I mean, apparently not. I mean, from reading this, I mean, I just like I'm probably gonna post this up under us, all these the different topics we're talking about. But like from the way they describe it is so broad that honestly I wouldn't like. Honestly, I can find any video on YouTube right now and find a way that it's just doesn't, basically you can do toy reviews. I mean,
Right.
that's what you can do on YouTube now. Toy
Nah,
reviews.
man, because that's controversial. You could have an opinion about that.
Yeah, that's right. You have an opinion on that. So,
When you do a review, you have an opinion. So
well, you
therefore,
can do an unboxing video as long as you don't
as long as
the
you're
product.
completely unbiased about it, yes.
Yeah, like
Which
you can't promote it. You can't say it's good. You can't say it's bad.
this
I
is
mean,
a coin. Sit it down. Like it would have to be monotone. That's what it would have to be.
now here's
Right.
my question though. They did not give any YouTubers like any heads up on this. They just demonetized their videos, right?
Right.
Now these YouTubers make money off this. I mean, this is what they do for a living. So let's say you go to work, you're working for 2 weeks, and out of nowhere you don't get a paycheck for them 2 weeks.
Right.
I mean, are you happy with the company?
No.
And then they do it again. I mean, at that point, are you not ready to quit if you're not getting paid?
Oh yeah, you're ready to quit.
I mean, these people. I mean, can you not say that's what's going through? I mean, some YouTubers already quit. They did.
Yeah.
So I mean, if YouTube loses YouTubers, what is it? It's,
Nothing.
so I don't even think this is smart on their business standpoint. Not until, I mean, I understand where they're coming from with these rules. I do. But I mean, it just comes to the point where it's so broad. I mean, you are a multi-million, maybe even billion company at Google. They have lots of money. You mean to tell me they cannot hire somebody to really be more specific on these rules and really break it down?
Oh, I know. It makes no sense to me, honestly. Just they should have at least gave them a heads up. Sorry, I don't know if you guys heard that. Somebody was calling me, but they should have gave you a heads up, like, hey, your video cannot be monetized because there's cussing, and let them go back through and bleep it.
Or make it
changes
effective.
for it. Yeah, yeah.
Give us
exactly.
an update, mate. Okay, these are coming in effect on November 17th, 2016. Effective then, these are the rules. Which, I mean, that would have been perfectly acceptable. I think people would have taken it a whole lot better. I mean, YouTube's aware of, like, the controversial. They haven't came out with anything. I'm not the only person saying these are too broad. You're not the only person saying it.
Right.
I watched a few videos on this topic. I watched PewDiePie, because, something like this, you want to watch the biggest YouTuber. I
Yes,
watched,
understand.
8 Thoughts, and 8 Thoughts, has a very biased opinion on a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't agree with his opinion on a lot of stuff. He's one of these old school commentators that I really did enjoy his style of video, because I like them old school commentators, but it's just his topics that became kind of weird, and there's no way his videos are monetized. No way. But I mean, these people do this as a job, and I just don't understand why YouTube just comes out with these, like, off. I mean, there was no heads up. It's just like people like, oh, my videos are all unmonetized for some reason. And then somebody figures out why, and then it becomes just one of them things. I mean, and then it comes to the point where, you know, do I want to do YouTube? Can I actually make videos, grow my subscriber base, and be someone different? Because I mean, it really changes who you are at some points when you look at it.
It does. I mean, we didn't even get in the whole topics about drama channels, prank channels, stuff like that. Like, pretty much everything, their channels, their living could be gone.
I
So,
mean, there's a lot of things on YouTube I don't agree with. There's a lot of things I disagree with, and I've voiced my opinion about it. You know, people expose videos. I don't really agree with them. You know, stuff like that. I don't. You know, I agree with exposed videos to a point.
yeah, like when we do them, we always talk to each other, We do them jokingly,
Well,
obviously.
not that. I'm talking about
So,
serious exposed videos. I do agree. Like Honor of the Call, I like his exposed videos. He does a very good job of it. He goes with facts. There's no speculation. He gets what he has. He does his research. He's the guy who figured out the CS:GO scandal by T. Martin. He's the one that figured out the phase rain video game thing, and you know all that. I mean, I like his style. But then you have other people. Eight Thoughts does YouTube cringe exposed videos where he just makes fun of people. He's not.
right.
He's hating on people. You know, and I disagree with it. But I mean, I completely understand that they're targeting them. I completely understand that. But it's just the way they put it. There's no way to really figure out what they're talking about. But
Oh, I know. Well, I read something about Honor of the Call. Wow. Honor of the Call. I don't know why that was a tongue twister for me. But I guess some of his videos actually got taken down. And he got hacked. Obviously, that's a whole different topic. But it's just crazy how, the exposed videos, he does, like you said, he does a good job. He tries to be as unbiased as possible. It's hard, to do that with a lot of other prank channels. They are very biased. But there's just so many, like, we can talk about these different sub channels all day, every day. But what's acceptable and what's not. It's just, we're not going to be able to get anywhere, get an answer unless YouTube responds. So that's pretty much
completely
how
agree.
I feel about it.
Completely agree. But I think that's gonna do it for our what is this, episode 9 of the Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
a good podcast. I enjoyed having you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm always happy to be here.
Social media, you guys seen it, the whole video. It's right below us. So you guys make sure to check them out. They'll be in the description as well. You guys were absolutely awesome. I want to give a big shout out to everybody who watches these. You guys make sure to comment below. You guys let us know, what do you guys think of the new YouTube terms of service? The PS4 Pro, you guys gonna buy it? You guys not gonna buy it? Or, get the conversation started below. We will answer every single one of your questions. You guys argue with us. Tell us we're wrong.
I
Tell us you
also
disagree.
also I do want you guys' opinion on this whole podcast layout. If you guys
Yes.
like the webcam version of podcast or the gameplay version. Honestly, personally, I'm a fan of the webcam, but I'd like to know your guys' opinion so we can produce quality content for you guys that you enjoy watching.
Yep, so you guys just let us know in the comments below. You guys were absolutely awesome. You guys don't forget to check out the sponsors. They're also going to be listed below. And all that stuff. You guys make sure to check out Acquire. Use code RK for that. Gamer Crate. Balls Energy. You guys make sure to get on their website. Order you guys some balls. Do we actually have a promotional code for that?
We do not, sadly. We do not have a promotional code for them. I am still talking to them, trying to see if we can work out a deal so we can get free shipping to offer our fans. Obviously, that's all. It's been a long work in progress. Just how their company's laid out, it's not really able to support all that stuff. But I am trying to work on something to help you guys be able to afford it. So,
Alright. Well, with that being said, until next Tuesday, you guys have an amazing week. And be sure to come back next Tuesday for the next episode. Knights of the Round Table. You guys are absolutely awesome. We will talk to you guys next Tuesday. Peace out.
peace.